thoracic and lumbar scoliosis. So for these positions, they're twisty positions. So you're going to be laying with your hips facing one way and your torso facing another way. So mostly torso to the ceiling and hips or legs to one side or the other, okay? And you can lay in this position for literally as long as possible, but have a timer and do both sides. Start with the more difficult side first. So you can test both of them. One of them will be easy to get into, the other one will be a little more difficult to get into. Start with the difficult one. Do it for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you can handle. But again, the more you can elongate it out, the more you're going to get rid of that scoliosis. And this is specifically thoracic scoliosis and lumbar scoliosis. Above the thoracic is going to be a little tricky to get to be quite honest with you. Actually, let me rephrase that. This is good for about halfway up the thoracic, 3/4 of the way up the thoracic. Above that 3/4 mark of the thoracic, you're not really going to be able to hit it with this. You're going to need a different approach. So I don't want to lead you astray thinking, oh, this is going to take care of all my scoliosis. No, this will take care of the majority of your scoliosis, not all of your scoliosis. You're going to need a couple of different approaches, but that's why we have the exercises included, because it helps take care of what this doesn't take care of. But this helps to unravel a lot of the scoliosis that builds up over the years for many people. Along with doing it from that angle, we also have, this angle. And this angle, a little more intense on the lumbar and the thoracic, but it does, again, it does a wonderful job of helping to undo the scoliosis. One more word about the scoliosis is that, if you recall with the straddle split, you could do one side or the other, and also with the TFO IT band stretch, this stretch, you could do one side or the other. That all of those will also help to undo scoliosis. So run through the gambit. Run through the gambit of stretches and undo that scoliosis issue. Scoliosis usually, most of the time, comes from either imbalanced obliques. You have 4 obliques, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and they sometimes one side. What usually happens is, because one front and one back tends to work together, like in the space of a twisting. So if you're twisting this one, and this one will fire if you're twisting this way, for example. I think it's that way. Oh, it's the other way. The other way. So the opposites will work together, and so what ends up happening sometimes is, say for example, one oblique gets tight, just one gets tight. It'll throw the whole spine out of distortion. It'll just pull the spine in that direction. So you wanna get that muscle to let go and loosen up and let the spine go back to where it's supposed to be. Let me think here. If you are dealing with inguinal hernias, I don't usually bring up inguinal hernias too much. I was gonna do a whole thing about them, but I held off. But inguinal hernias usually are due to weak anterior obliques. They create a weak spot right down at the base, right next to where it attaches down into the groin, and it just creates a hole, and your small intestines will go spilling right out into that little inguinal hernia, and then you have a whole nother problem. So be kind to your obliques. Give them much needed twisty attention.